MDawg Gaming.
Welcome back to MDawg Gaming. We are playing on our Troll Druid, which you hopefully are familiar with by now if you've been following the videos. We left him at level 15. MDawg is working his way up the levels. And what we're doing right now is, if you are familiar with WoW, you'll notice this symbol up here. It's called the Dungeon Finder. We are in the Dungeon Finder. So we're going to see, hopefully this queue will pop relatively quick. We're right now just waiting on a tank. To enter the Dungeon Finder, you hit the same symbol that's down here on the bottom, and you simply join queue, which this leave queue button would normally say join queue. If you weren't already in queue, we're doing a random dungeon. You can go to specific dungeons to see which ones you're going to get a choice of. Well, not a choice, but it will randomly put you in one of those. Often the dungeon that you get is going to be determined by if someone is queuing for a specific dungeon. You're likely to join them. So I'm doing random. It doesn't really matter which one we get. We'll get a boost to experience and a piece of gear for doing a random. Out of the three that we are eligible for, Dead Mines and Ragefire Chasm are both two that I've run plenty of times. Wailing Caverns I've run a few times, but not as much. They have improved Wailing Caverns in terms of how long it takes and the path to completing it, but it's still a little bit lengthier than the other two. Ragefire Chasm is very short for a dungeon run, and Dead Mines, if you've got an overpowered group, can move through it pretty quickly, but there is more going on in the Dead Mines. So we will see what we get. And other than that, we're just slowly working our way towards the Northern Barrens, which is where the quests are leading us at this point. And we are moving in cat form due to the increased speed that allows, and we also can stay in cat form while we're picking up herbs and killing scorpions for their skins. And there is the dungeon pop, so let's go ahead and get in our correct form here as to not confuse anyone. And oh no, alright, trying to decide what to do. We'll just stay. The problem is we are joining a run halfway through, which means, why are we killing all these monkeys? You don't really have to do that. So the problem is we're going to miss out on all the quests in here because we are joining a partially completed run. But we'll still get plenty of experience. And let's see what we have in terms of makeup. We have a warrior, 17 warrior, that's tanking for us. The healer is a troll monk. And the other DPS, we have an orc shaman that's 15 and a Tauren paladin. For a long time, the Horde was only able to play as a blood elf paladin, but they did change that some time ago. And now we're almost here to what is the second boss. I don't believe the quest is shareable, but we're going to ask someone to check just to make sure. And that is the really unfortunate part of getting put into this dungeon halfway through. But that is okay. So what happened here was someone pulled the boss while the tank, I believe, was trying to clear the last mob. So we don't have that many abilities yet, we're just sort of cycling through them. And now we've got the second phase of this boss fight, where the Helix Gear Breaker is on top of somebody's head. He does throw these little bombs down, kind of have to be aware of them and not get yourself trapped in there. They do a little bit of damage. It wouldn't be an instant kill if we were to be in the radius of one of the explosions, but we'll try to stay out of them regardless. A pole arm. That's what dropped from the loot of the boss. You see the little loot table that has been added now. It shows what everybody rolled if they needed or greeted. Group's moving pretty quickly. And we are now on the solar eclipse side of things, which means we're doing more nature damage. That is a good piece of gear for us. Although, it's not that good a piece of gear for the spec we're in. I'm not really thinking here. We don't really want agility in this spec. We want intellect. Now we're fighting the Foe Reaper 5000, but first we gotta clear out the Defiance Watchers. And it looks like our solar passive is just rotating between the two sides. I think once you hit max on one side, it looks as you use the abilities from the other side, it slowly brings it back around. And so it doesn't look like, unless we didn't use some of our abilities, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to maintain it on one side, which doesn't matter at this point. I would think that as we get further in level, it's going to become more important to time this in such a way that during boss fights and in important moments we're getting the maximum amount of damage we can from one of the two sides. Here we go, boss fight. So this boss will be very easy at this level. And he does this little area damage spin. without an aggro chart. Runs at whomever. So he's down to about 30% health now. So that worked out well. He's harvesting on one of the characters, but he is now gone. So someone will get the nice mace that has strength and hit on it. Looks like everyone is greeting. Possibly good for the warrior. We have someone disconnect. Looks like the shaman has disconnected. And it doesn't let you put gear on or change gear in the middle of a fight. So, but we do have it open, ready to go, so that once this battle is over, we can go ahead and put on the better belt. Even though it has agility on it, the belt we had on did not have any stats, so at least we added some stats and some more armor. Not attacking the right target there. Tank's gonna get tired of me doing that. Try to get on the right target. And if this was at max level, or even at a higher level, everyone would need to be very careful about not pulling off the tank or attacking the same target that the tank is as much as possible. In a dungeon like this early on, especially with heirloom gear and such, everyone's going to be pretty overpowered, and not having to be as concerned with it. It's always good to get in the habit of playing smartly in group settings so that you're ready later on when it becomes vital that you do so. We just hit level 16. We've got a new Moonkin form. We also got Travel form, and we unlocked Shadowfang Keep, which is one of my favorite instances. Especially in the early levels. So Moonkin form, let's see what this does. Arcane and nature damage is increased. That's what it looks like. Spell haste. For some reason, I don't have my abilities for Moonkin form. So let's quickly try to get these down here. Wrath. And Starfire. So now we're able to cast our abilities. in moon conform. And again, we're increasing the party's spell haste by 5%. We're increasing our arcane and nature damage, which is basically all we're doing, by 10%, and reducing the damage we take by 15%. So definitely the spec we want to be in. If we have to do an emergency heal, we can. It just takes us out of this form. Things are dying so quickly. We're hardly able to finish the cast times on most of our abilities. We'll just beat on a little bit. And as you can see, our mana is staying pretty much maximum the whole time. We haven't reached a point where mana use is a concern. Tank's holding back here. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if he's trying to communicate something or maybe just checking on something and looking at something. I don't know. Maybe he leveled. And the reason why I keep thinking the tank is holding back is because I'm wrong about who the tank is. As we talked about in the beginning, the tank is actually the little goblin. Not the big Tauren paladin. The goblin warrior is the tank. So here we go with the fight against Rip Snarl. And he's going to phase in and out, and we'll have to kill some shades while he is phased out. And that will happen here just momentarily. So there he goes. He's phased out, and some vapors is what they call them, I guess, will come in. And then Rip Snarl will come back in. There he goes again. And here come the vapors. Pretty good group here, although it is at this point in the game's life pretty difficult to be a bad group at this level. We'll take it, because you never know. We're going to go ahead and take out the ads. Sometimes people tend to just focus on Rip Snarl and ignore the ads, which at this point makes sense. Intellect and hit, we will need on that. And it looks like we were not the only one that needed, but we did win the roll. So here comes one of the strangest fights in the game. Captain Cookie, who is in his boiling pot And he throws out food that you're able to pick up that gives you, either helps you or harms you based on what it is. We are just going to ignore it. There's a steak that would help, and there's a rotten loaf which would be bad. I think that's how it works, or maybe you're supposed to go between the two.
Hey, how you doing? Go, go!
Now we're getting all the quests for the things that have already happened. So anyway, we'll go ahead and put our ring on, open up the bag that gives you a random piece of gear. It is a belt that is good for us, especially the spec we're in. And that is it. There's some confusion in the group. Oh, about killing Cookie. We already killed Cookie, but just like me, that person wasn't able to get the quest until after the fight was over. So, alright, so that is one dungeon run. We went in at just hitting level 15, and now we're almost done with level 16. So, a lot of experience to be had, and we're going to go ahead and queue up again for we'll do a random and see what we get this. Travel form has changed since I've last messed with the Druid, which has only been for a level or two. Oh, I didn't mean to go into bear form. See, when you're in tank form, you kill things a lot more slowly than in cat form. But this is travel form. And while in travel form, movement speed is increased by 40%. Cat form, sorry, that's bear. Cat form, you have 25% movement speed, so we should see a difference here. Let's test this out. Yeah, it does get going a little quicker, I believe. Not a huge increase, but a little bit. We will take it. We're going to go up and get Earth Root. So even in travel form, you can stay in your form while you're getting the herbs, which is such a convenient thing. If you play a lot of alts and you're going to have a druid and you know you want one tune gathering either herbs or ore or whatever, sometimes it makes sense to just go ahead and have the druid, because, and let's face it, at later levels when you have your flying form, you're able to just swoop in, take it, and swoop off, and you don't have to deal with any of the cast times of getting in on and off mount. So one of the nice things about druids. Alright, so here we are. Plane Strider Menace. Kill 7 Plane Strider beasts. Is that what it said? Yes. Thought it must have said collect there for a minute. But in defense of Farwatch, the Quillboars are our enemies. Some are more of a nuisance than others. They've been attacking our caravans that roll through here towards Ogrimmar. Seek them out and slay them. Kill 8 plunderers and 3 hunters. So what we want to do is see these quests we've just picked up are green. So as long as they're not grayed out, we'll keep them and probably go ahead and do them. If they were grayed out, we would just drop them and skip them. It's not worth the time. This is who we were supposed to come see. This quest is now grayed out, but this is who we were supposed to come see that sort of leads us towards the Northern Barrens. This is not news to me. I appreciate your efforts. The Burning Blade will have to wait. We have other matters to attend to. Sounds good, Axeloth. And so conveniently there is Martang here, who's a cloth and leather armor merchant. We're going to go ahead and repair our items. We have an add-on that automatically sells the junk that are grayed out, and we're also going to sell anything that we don't think will get a significant amount from the auction house. Empty our bags a little bit. So we have the Plain Strider Menace quest, and then south of there is Defense of Farwatch. So we're gonna head, we'll get this one here, and then we'll head south. So we did not get a beak from that kill. This is a collection quest, but we will hope that they will start to fall. Let's see how the queue's going. Right now we're the only one in our queue, although once we get a tank it will pop quickly. This is a butcher who just sells meat items, so nothing we want to worry about. And we do want to keep our eye open. We're going to go ahead and fight some of these creatures here in cat form. We kill them quickly enough in cat form, and we don't have to worry about cast times and getting in and out of travel form. So until we actually have a little further to go, we're just going to go in travel form, in cat form. So there's the first beak we've collected. It looks like there's some peace bloom down here, so we're going to grab that. And here's another quest to pick up. And we're heading south here, so we're going to come back to the beaks on our way back up. Let's go grab this quest, see what it's about, and then we can start taking out these. Let's see. Break the chains to free the wolves from the burning stables. Okay, we can do that. And here is another Plain Strider. Let's see if he has a beak for us. Well, I see a beak. Perhaps I will not kill it in a way that destroys the beak. No, I got the beak. Yay. Alrighty, so there should be some wolves up here. Oh, before we do that, let's pop this queue. Very good. Alright. And we're going to get 1 gold and 20 silver, and we'll get some more experience as well as some helpful goods. While we're waiting on the other DPS to accept, we'll go ahead and get a kill real quick. Check our bags to see, yeah, they're fine. If he does not accept in the next 3 seconds, we will be put back at the front of the line, and that's what happened. So it should pop again almost immediately, because the only thing it's waiting for is a different DPS to rotate up. So there we go, and now we're getting Ragefire Chasm. So a very quick run, and we get the quests in here, so all is good. We will actually get to do the quest as well as get the bonus from running a random. So this should be very good. What we're going to do is untrack. Oh, somebody already killed something. We're going to untrack the Dead Mines quests so that our quest log is not quite as filled up. And now we're ready to get going. Let's see what the group makeup is here. Move this down to here. Pets, and we will use that add-on once we're healing, which won't be too much longer as fast as you level. But so our tank is actually a Blood Elf warrior, so another warrior tank, and our healer is an undead priest. See if we can tell this early. We may not be able to, but if he has gone discipline or holy. I am personally quite fond of discipline priest healing. So let's see here. We have 1 DPS that is a Tauren hunter, and the other one is going to be a Blood Elf paladin. Paladin still overall my favorite class in the game. So we're collecting those insignias. That's one of the quests we need to complete. And we're here to the first boss fight as soon as we get one more flame hound down. It looks like he went ahead and pulled the boss, and we are good to go. I'm not sure why we're pulling him back here. Alright, so aggro table set aside there for that ability, the Inferno Charge. There is another level, and we will greed on those because we're mostly looking for intellect at this point. And there is another insignia. Whether we heal or whether we stay balanced, we want leather intellect gear for the most part. So this is an exciting instance to get, especially on a random, because the amount of experience that we'll get for the short amount of time we spend in here is very good. So we got that third insignia, and trying to run around the lava really doesn't matter at this point. Wouldn't hurt bad enough to matter, but again, getting in the habit of staying out of the poop and the fire and all the other stuff is a very good thing. So now we have all of our insignias. One of our quests has been completed. And we have 3 more to finish. I was going to check and see. Looks like the quests in here are yellow still, which is nice. We'll get full experience. And here is a boss fight. Get that scout rescued. We've got 3 out of 5 now on the scouts. And Dark Shaman Corinthel is going down rather quickly. Shadow Storm is not going to have time to get off. And that would be a perfect chest for us, but we're just not willing to give up our heirloom gear and the experience boost that it gives us. But it is unfortunately cloth, and that would have been leather intellect, so that would have been great. If we did not have heirloom gear on, that would have been an early chest drop that would have been very fortunate. Now those look like some, intellect, but they are cloth. We're going to pass on them. We're going to try to pretend like we're going after leather as much as we can. And there are some classes, such as the priest, that needs the cloth, his only option. It does look like he's going discipline based on the abilities he's using. Let's go ahead and check that theory out. Yes, discipline. I support that decision. So Slag Maw, not putting up much of a fight, and now we've got some mail gear that does not interest us at all. And there's another scout we can rescue. Whoa. So we hit 17 here at the beginning of the instance, and we've made about a little over 1/4 of the way through level 17. Rescued that scout, so we're at 4 out of 5 rescued. And now really we just push to the end. There are scouts at the end to finish off the quest. And we are almost done. The only thing left to do is to get that scout and kill the last of the 2 Dark Shaman. Greed on the Malachi. Here he is, Lava Guard Gordoth. Gonna light him up. Up here it shows you the amount of threat that you've got. Right now we've got 11% threat, so the tank is holding aggro quite nicely. There's that big boost of experience from finishing the random. He dropped a a sword. Just see what that looks like. Very cool. And that is a chance on hit. It's more like a tanky sword. Now we're going to turn some quest in and see how far into 18 we get. There's 18, which gave us Sunfire and Aquatic form. And we can queue back up with this same group. So we got Sunfire. Oh, did somebody leave? No, there it is, it's popping. Now we're getting Wailing Caverns, which is a little bit longer, but it's not bad. Since they have redone it, it actually goes quite quick. Just more quests to finish and more experience to gain. It all works out really well. Now, we do want to open up our satchel. We don't want to wear that. I don't think we have any gear to put on. We have this Sunfire ability. Burns the enemy for 52 nature and an additional 304 over 14.9 seconds. Your Wrath and Star Surge critical strikes on target extend Sunfire. So, we're going to move that up to here. It's an instant cast. Oh, we can't get the King's Blood. That is too bad. Now let's get back in Moonkin form and pull out the ability. Same thing here. Let's move it up and see how this fits into our rotation. So it said that impacted Wrath and Star Surge. So it will impact our 2 and our 4. And if you have skinning, this is the dungeon that you want to get here at an early level. It really gives you so much leather. So make sure you're high enough skinning profession before you come in here, and then just go to town on the skins. So we've gotten 3 out of 10 of those deviant hides, and that's dropping off of basically all the animals in here that give you the skins. Looks like the tank is probably going after Kresh over here because he drops a pretty good shield and has a chance to drop a really good shield. So let's see what he gets. And I believe that is the normal one. It is, but it still gives you lots of armor and is fairly cool looking.
None can stand against the serpent lord.
If we were skinning 80 at this point, we would really be able to benefit from, like I said before, all of the creatures in here. Take down Lady Anacondra. You'll see down here in the bottom half of the screen there's this serpent bloom, and everyone's going to be wanting to pick up 5 of these, so there are enough for it to happen for everyone, the whole group, but we've got to be paying attention and get them all as we go. Agility and stamina. If we were in our cat form, if that's the form we were going with, then that would definitely be a good set for us to try to collect in here with all the agility. And we now have 8 of 10 on the deviant hides. So that Sunfire ability is nice because it's another instant cast, and because we're running a dungeon, we're actually opening with that now. So we don't really have to worry about cast time since we're not pulling aggro very much. At least not when we attack the right target. And it gives us a chance to get some damage off before everything melts. So now it's up to skinning 90. Although if we had ooh, we just pulled something that we did not mean to. So one thing you need to worry about with tab targeting. We just hit level 19. So we will probably be level 20 by the time we finish this place and turn in the quests. Very nice. Anyway, with tab targeting, and that just means hitting tab to select your next target. Sorry about the phone ringing. You sometimes assume that when you hit tab it's going to target the thing you want it to, but it doesn't always do that. Go, Ormhoof, go. Server Police is the name of the guild of our tank, the Warrior. And this dungeon has always just felt too long to me, especially before they made the changes, but even now it just kind of drags a little bit. So many of the same enemies. I don't know why I'm hitting that with Sunfire over and over again. And so many of the same enemies and just sort of going around the same paths, or what look like the same paths. So the Sunfire ability does not do that much damage on the initial hit, but it does do some decent damage over time. As you'll see, just 2 of our group is taking down enemies at this point so quickly. And it may be worth, before we run any more randoms, going ahead and spending some time in the Northern Barrens getting our both herbalism and skinning up. So we're going to get our first Serpent Bloom there, and here's our second one. 2 folks have 5 already, and then the rest of us still need to get ours as we fight scum over here. really need to get out of the habit of refreshing Sunfire so quickly. It's just a waste of a global cooldown until it's getting close to being out. And Scum can really take some hits, apparently. He's not doing enough damage for us to really worry about anyone's health. The healer is staying on top of it, and being overpowered helps, and he drops some agility shoulders. And he requires skinning of 100. It is kind of neat. You can skin bosses as well as regular mobs if the boss is an animal or a creature that would typically be skinnable. My Sunfire actually missed there, believe it or not. So it is not letting us use our travel form in here. It says it's only usable outside. I did not remember that about the travel form. Apparently it does have similar restrictions to what a mount would have. So we got the travel form at 18, and your mount is trainable at 20. We just need one more Serpent Bloom, and we'll have that quest done. As we go round and round the Wailing Caverns. I don't know that this one will even be possible to run again, but unless I do it just to get the leather, I would probably actually just run a specific dungeon so that I didn't have the chance of getting this one again. That's how much I would not want to have to run this one again. I think once per character is about all I can handle of this. Sort of feel the same way about Nomergon, although it's gotten better too. It's important to hit that jump so you don't have to go all the way back around to get back up. Go ahead and finish up our serpent bloom here. So the only thing left is the quest we get from killing Lord Simpus, Pythus, and Coburn. More agility leather gloves. And now we have Burden the Ever-Living. For just a moment there we were high thread, I'm not sure why, but Tank pulled him right back, taunted him back. Boy, that would be nice. Do we have anything in our offhand? We don't. We're going to go ahead and need on that. Oh, inventory is full. Man, I almost walked right away from it. So what we're going to do is... Ooh, that's a quest item. Get rid of some stuff here. It sells for so little it's not worth keeping anyway. Get this and equip it and fall down the rabbit hole. Where are we here? We will figure this out in a minute. And there's what the little staff looks like. But it actually does do, even with the heirloom weapon, I don't know, that spell power, 42 spell power, that might be worth keeping it. Especially if we were to get an offhand item. It gave us a little bit of intellect. So we're getting fairly close to 20. Well, we're over halfway there. And we still have a little more to go. The hunter is trying to tame this snake as a pet. I'm not sure what's taking so long. I'm not sure if it messed it up because we had already started to hit it. If he needs to aggro it first, but that sure did not work. A little bit of a frustrating slowdown here as we're waiting on one person to catch up. And I think we're ready to go. We are. They're here. Let's go. Guess he is not taming that one. And there is the third set piece we've seen of the agility stuff. Now, we cannot use a shield as a druid, so we'll pass on that. And we lost our tank who, I guess, disconnected. But our paladin, our ret paladin is pretty much just filling in his tank. And we are getting very close to 20 now. I think we did get a replacement tank in here. And it is a Pandaren monk. More earth root, very tempting. We're up to 73 now on herbalism. Not sure what's going on here. Guess the tank didn't realize that we had already aggroed the shape-shifting druid. More leather, but alas, it's intellect leather. And more of the Fang set. I think we've already seen the gloves. Drop once already, if I'm not mistaken. What would be great at this point is to have a damaging AoE ability. And I don't know if that's coming or not for the Balanced Druid, but it would certainly be cool in these dungeon runs. Alright, so there's level 20. We learned a new ability, Astral Communion. And 2 new dungeons. And the quest to get riding. Robe of the Moccasin. So we got this Astral Communion, which I guess is just helping us get to solar or lunar more quickly. I think that's all we got, that ability, yeah. Black Fathom Deeps and Stockade were the new dungeons we opened up. Stockade is another great quick run that has a quest in there. You always want to try to get that at least once if you're interested in leveling quickly. So if it's not popping as your random, it may be worth just getting into that one intentionally. So now what we're doing is heading back to the beginning. We'll turn in quest, and then we will follow down the long walk to get to the final boss encounter that will end this dungeon. Still nowhere near Herbalism 125 to get the King's Blood.
Greetings, traveler. May the eternal sun shine upon you.
Goddess, bless you. Goddess, what you.
Some gloves that actually make sense for us. Not sure that we're going to be able to share that quest. So there's a discussion right now in the party about, is there a quest for this part, for this last thing we do? I don't think there is. One person is saying that there is. I actually don't think there is a quest for this last thing. I could be mistaken though. And we have made it. It's not near as bad as it used to be. I think they have, I want to say they've increased his run speed. They've also just changed the layout of this place a little bit. But he will now begin to channel or something. We'll have a couple of ads that'll come up, and then we'll have the final boss fight, which will not be tough or long. And then we'll see. We're almost to 20 and a half. We'll see how much of a bump we get for completing the random. Oh. This place kind of wears me out. Here comes one mob. I'll take them out. There's another one. Two more. So far I'm liking the balanced druid. I still, I don't know, sort of feel like it'll be good once the abilities fill out a little more. Muya is still working on the channeling over here. Naralex is still sleeping. Here comes an ecoplasm or something like that. Ectoplasm. He can't handle the nightmare ecoplasm alone. Needs help. Beat it over the head with my mace. And now we should be, there's one more. And then we should be starting the last fight. Well, what do you know? It's Mutanus the Devourer. A really big shiny murloc.
I am awake.
And we got about a third of a level there. There's an intellect belt, but it's not better than what we have. We're not interested in shoulders. So that is it. Another run. So they fly off together, and we get out of here. So we started off at 15, and very quickly we have jumped to 20, and that's frankly just the way it goes with leveling. Now we've got these Northern Baron quests that have completely grayed out, that really honestly are not worth finishing. What's probably going to make more sense is just to follow the road in and see if we can get some quests further in the Barrens that perhaps will be more appropriate level. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks again for watching, and we will catch you next time.
Bye bye, Nods.